We're live right now as part of the George Pickens trade. Going live for that because how could we not? Had a lot of time on Twitter to discuss that one as well. If we did not get to your question, you have Cowboys thoughts, whatever, hit me up on Twitter at What's Going Downey. We had a $50 super chat come in for JT. Thank you very much, JT. Are they done now? Will we see some more moves? Maybe the second rumored trade. Who do you think the second trade could be? Jaire Alexander? And this was for the beer bong I promised we did earlier. The second trade could have simply been trade down in round one. We know they had talks on that. Alexander's kind of sort of been available, so that could be a possibility. There's been some buzz on Breece Hall. I think the Jets would be kind of stupid to trade him, but like if you can get him for a day 3 pick, like hell yeah, let's ride. So Alexander fits. The money's a huge issue there. Breece Hall fits, but like, hey, do the Jets actually want to trade him like for the value they would probably get back there? So like I wonder if it was just a trade down in round one, but maybe something else happens. I don't think we can rule it out with how aggressive they've been with trades this year, even for later picks. Jatman, should we still add Amari Cooper? Let him, Mingo, and Tolbert have a knockdown, drag-out fight for wide receiver 3. My gut tells me that they're not going to bring in Amari Cooper now because the goal there was to have a better option at wide receiver 2, and you have that now with George Pickens. So my gut tells me they're out on Amari Cooper. And I think Cooper is like, do I really want to go compete with Tolbert and Mingo? Like, I can go be a 2 or a 3 pretty much guaranteed somewhere else. So, again, I also thought the Pickens trade was kind of dead. Kind of thought it wasn't going to happen because I didn't get it from Pittsburgh's side of, like, not having another receiver option. Like, that's an issue for me. But I think that with these moves, they're probably done because they've got Mingo and Tolbert and Turpin. Like, I don't think they're going to add another receiver barring injury. Lucid, does Pickens have a 5th-year option? No. George Pickens is in the final year of his contract. The franchise tag ends up being an option if the Cowboys want to pursue that route again. The report from Clarence Hill was that the Pickens camp wanted to let things play out and maximize his value next year and not settle for maybe a team-friendly deal right now. So the Cowboys are going to owe him $3.66 million this year. That's like nothing. Like that's super cheap. And then the franchise tag or get a potential comp pick back are options beyond that. You've had plenty of time to think about this one. Grade the trade for George Pickens. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comment section. The pinned comment, by the way, of today's show. Lucid, you think CeeDee can change Pickens? I don't know if it's CeeDee who's responsible for that. Like, that's Pickens' thing. Pickens, in a way, CeeDee kind of is like your vet leader and at the wide receiver room. That's probably a Schottenheimer-Dak thing. And that's probably more of like a managed thing than anything else and not like fully change him and fix there's going to be a George Pickens crash out. It's going to happen. Like, it would be great if it doesn't happen. History tells us that it will. So I wouldn't put all that on the QB and head coach, but I think your culture as a whole has to like be able to handle that. Every team has like some maybe negative culture guys, but you're hoping the rest of that is able to kind of manage it and overpower it. Crimson Cowboys. Cowboys now have the second and third most penalized wide receivers in the league, and I kind of love it. The bad boy Piston vibes. We'll pull the top ones where I can pull this up here from penalty stuff. Yeah, Pickens' issues are like, they're different types of penalties. Like, sometimes CeeDee, I think it's like I don't really know if that should have been a penalty type of deal there. Pickens just like has crash outs to me, which, you don't want to have. I don't want to be, someone told me, it was like, you're not going to have the third down holding penalty. Now it's going to be a first down and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Hey, CeeDee can't do the first down thing anymore either. So hopefully that no longer becomes an issue. Those were among the more penalized receivers. Actually, Jerry Jeudy led the league in penalties last year at receiver, which is kind of funny. And then it's actually like good receivers who are up there, like Lamb and Drake London and Metcalf and Tyreek Hill and George Pickens and Malik Neighbors. That's kind of a weird grouping there. Also, like, don't do false starts. Like, hopefully that's gone with McCarthy being gone. From Grungle Trunk, how upsetting and demoralizing would it be for Micah to get traded? I just as I've seen comments, I don't think it makes any sense. Defeats the purpose of adding a George Pickens to then trade away your best player and your best defensive player by a huge margin. I don't get that. I don't see it happening. I don't think Micah wants to go anywhere else. I don't think the Cowboys want to. I think it's the same stupid nonsense of the Lamb stuff last. It'll get done. I think it'd be really weird. I wouldn't understand that. I'd be shocked, and I would be kind of demoralized because why? That's what a team that is trying to blow it up does. So now you can get Cowboys draft gear. Hopefully some George Pickens jerseys available soon too. I'll put that on the community if so. Chatsports.com/Cowboys draft rookie jerseys. You can go search for the Pickens ones depending on when you're watching this too. Draft gear as well. Link will be in the comments section. Clickable link over there in the corner on top of that. Chatsports.com/Cowboys draft. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Zach Harmon. I think the Cowboys should still sign Amari Cooper. That would be a stout wide receiver group. Yeah, but then you're kind of okay, are you going to go, what are you doing with Tolbert? Do you trade him? I think you're actually fine at receiver. I don't think you needed 3 guys. I think you needed a handful of guys. Or you needed just one good guy or an Amari Cooper. I think you have that now with Pickens. So I don't really think you need to have that additional player. I think you are good with healthy Lamb, healthy Pickens, healthy Tolbert, Flanoy, Mingo, Turpin. That's actually at least above average wide receiver room. It's no longer the worst one if you lose CeeDee Lamb. So I don't think you need Amari anymore. So will the Cowboys make any more moves? Notables. They're going to cut somebody, obviously, which they'll probably do before the video goes out, so whatever. Will they make any more moves? Y for yes, N for no. Lance Dunbar's burner. How does this affect Jalen Cropper's legacy? Feel like he's about to officially become a Cowboys legend this offseason. That maybe makes it to the practice squad again, but there's going to be a battle for receiver 5/6. I guess actually not really. If they carry a 6th, who is it? Flanoy or Brooks probably. Can Cropper emerge? I think they're done. I think he's a practice squatter at best. Lucid. This is a scary offense now. CeeDee and George and Ferguson. Hopefully you get a better Jake Ferguson. That would be nice. Jaden Blue, better offense, good defense. I think the playoffs are the goal. I don't really think that, as bad as last year was, the lack of success, first-time head coach, I don't think Super Bowl or bust is what you should be considering. But I think playoffs, yes or no, determines good season, yes or no. Grant Water, thoughts on Pickens, 700-plus yards and 5 TDs? I think that's the floor, right? That's what he's been 800-plus yards every year. That assumes health, right? I think the touchdown should go up because he's got a lot better quarterback play than what he's had in the past. Think about what the Steelers have had in the passing game the past couple years. It was a 5-game good run from Russell Wilson. Justin Fields, who got benched. They started Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky in games in 2022, which is hilarious because they're all backups now. I guess technically Rudolph is back as the starter in Pittsburgh. 2022 was Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. And they had more interceptions than touchdowns in 2022. And in 2023, they had 13 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. It was a bad room. It was a bad quarterback play. He's not going to get maybe he doesn't get the same volume of targets, but maybe the same ratio, but the passing game was pretty limited in Pittsburgh, just numbers-wise. He should be able to get to those numbers pretty easily. Now, we've got you covered with all the latest and greatest Dallas Cowboys news. Trades, everything else. Hit that sub button right now. DX Flash, see him signing Nick Chubb. I would love the signing. I'm down to try Nick Chubb. For me, that kind of becomes okay, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, can you guys combine for 1.5 competent RBs? the prime Nick Chubb isn't available. That guy that was one of the most successful backs on the ground in the NFL, he's just not available. The guy last year was pretty bad. I think if you sign Nick Chubb, you're probably doing like a 1-year prove-it deal that isn't guaranteed a roster spot. And that's fine because it's never a bad sign. That's what Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders are. It's just temper your expectations given what he was last year, entering now his age 30 season. Freak athlete, but hey, there's some concerns there. Crush equity. Herschel Walker is why. Jaire is the best known for that trade, which gave him the trio and less than 3 firsts or 2 1s and a second and a third, and this would be horrible. Again, they were rebuilding though. Like, I agree, like, if you're trading Micah, that's what you should – this is about the Micah trade, by the way. This is what you should be getting. Otherwise, like, why do it at all, period? I don't know if a team's going to give that. The Herschel trade will probably never happen again. If you can get that, okay, like, that's a hell of a trade package, sweet. I don't know who's going to pay that for you. And you're also not, like, actively blowing it up. Like, hasn't been the plan ever in Dallas. Vic the Slick, how do you think the run game fares with his offensive line? It's a big question mark for me now. I think it's like the top, outside of like, do your tackles, which kind of ties in this, do your tackles play better this year? That's a big question mark for me. It's an iffy running back talent room. Jaden Blue gives you some juice you needed. The schematic changes should benefit your offensive line. Does it make it a top 10 unit? Probably not. I think your defense is still a little bit of a work in progress. I think your first-time head coach, like you're gonna have ups and downs. But I do think like playoff expectation is very much on the table again in Dallas.